So in this question here, we're looking to use Pythagoras Theorem to figure out if this triangle contains a right angle. And so a lot of you are going to look at these numbers and you're going to know straight away that this actually does form a right angle, but we're just going to have to verify this using the theorem. So as we know, Pythagoras Theorem is it's quite memorable because it comes up so often and it's quite a famous sort of mathematical theorem. But it states that x squared plus y squared is equal to z squared, where x squared and y squared are going to be the two smaller sides of the triangle. So x and y in this case are going to be 4 and 3. So we can even put x and y beside those two. So we know x and y, and then if this is true, then it's going to be the same thing as z squared when we add them together and square them. So we can say that 5 is z because z is always going to be the longest side, so that's important. That's always going to be the hypotenuse. And so the two smaller sides, when we square them and add them together, add up to the squared value of the longer side, is basically Pythagoras theorem. And we know this is true for all right angle triangles, but we also know that the reverse is true. So if this equation is true for the triangle, so if the two smallest sides, when we square them, add them together, equal the longest side, then we can say the triangle is also right angled. So we can actually say that if this is true, then the triangle does contain a right angle. So this little drawing I've done here is a right angle. You know, we have the square. So we're basically looking to figure that out if this is true. And if it is true in this case, imagine you didn't know about these values at all, then we know that the right angle has to be opposite the hypotenuse. So it has to be the angle opposite the longest side, which we know is 5 centimeters. And so we're basically going to be trying to figure this out now. So all we need to do is plug our numbers in. So x squared is going to be 4, so we can have 4 squared. Y squared is going to be 3 squared. Again, because we've labelled our values x and y as 4 and 3. And then z squared is going to be 5 squared. So now we can just simplify our numbers. So 4 squared is 16. So we're going to have 16 at the start, and then 3 squared is going to be 9, and then 5 squared is going to be 25. And this is true. 16 plus 9 is equal to 25. And so this triangle is right angled, and we can say that the right angle is going to be opposite the hypotenuse, which is up in the top left corner here. And so that is going to be it for this question.